Good evening, welcome to my channel. Today we are going to show you the studies of international logistics. My name is Philip. I'd like to invite you to subscribe this channel. If you enjoyed this video, give us a like. Support this channel with donations. Start the notifications. Share this video with your friends. Thank you very much. Let us start. For the United States, one might ask how successful has government been in protecting the business of its own flag airlines. Offline, the United States has done a better job protecting its share of passenger traffic than its share of cargo. In 1985, U.S. flag air carriers carried 45% of U.S. international passenger traffic, but in terms of cargo value, carried 14.8% of U.S. imports and 24% of exports. U.S. flag air carriers tend to criticize the U.S. government's performance in internationalized matters. In 1988, John Durham, vice president of Federal Express, complained that U.S. trade negotiators provided virtually no help when his company sought to expand its air delivery service to Japan. At the end of World War II, the United States dominated the world's airline and aircraft building industries. Sales of U.S.-built airline aircraft made its government adopt a broader viewpoint in negotiations. They felt the need to protect U.S. aircraft manufacturers as well. Other nations recognized this, often coupling a request for preferential airline routes with a promise to buy U.S.-built planes. In addition, the U.S. Export-Import Bank subsidized the loans associated with sales of U.S.-built airline aircraft overseas. U.S. carriers felt that this was unfair. In recent years, the United States and Japan have engaged in strenuous negotiations regarding airline matters. In 1986, an agreement was reached giving Nippon Cargo Airlines, which runs 6 weekly flights over a Tokyo-San Francisco-New York route, 3 additional flights in exchange. U.S. companies received a right to operate 100 freight forwarding charters a year from Japan. In late 1989, an agreement was reached that allowed a new U.S. flag all-cargo carrier to make 7 flights per week, serving U.S. and Japan city pairs. 3 Japanese flags and 3 U.S. flag carriers can each start new passenger cargo service between various U.S. exports and Tokyo. 3 Japanese flags and 3 U.S. flag carriers can each start new passenger cargo service between various U.S. airports and Japanese airports other than Tokyo. 2 Japanese carriers may fly up to a total of 8 cargo flights per week, divided between the 2 carriers from Chicago. And any carrier flying between Japan and the United States may make a traffic stop in Alaska. Multi-government programs. To this point, the test has spoken of controls by single governments. In many instances, governments work together, and carriers and shippers are also bound by the government agreements and treaties. Many commercial practices on the Great Lakes, for example, are controlled by treaties between the United States and Canada. The two nations have a joint commission to decide these matters, much as the minimum size vessel sailing between Lakes Huron and Erie for which a pilot should be required. The United Nations often serves as the facilitator for negotiation worldwide agreements related to transportation. The Review of Marine Transport 1988 gave study reports on several worldwide maritime agreements and also told of communities attempting to develop models clauses for marine hull insurance policies, maritime liens, and mortgages, and so on. Mention has already been made of the ICAO, International Civil Aviation Organization, formed by the Chicago Convention in 1944, is an organization of governments. As of 1987, 157 different governments belonged, with headquarters in Montreal. The ICAO has developed standardized air navigation practices, rules of the air, navigation, charts, communications, and so on. They run training programs for people interested in air traffic control and communications, and they provide technical assistance to developing nations. There are regional branches of AICAO serving various areas in the world. In addition to government and multi-government controls, there are other institutions that have considerable influence of international trade and transport. They include the group that determine the adequacy of rules for carrying cargoes, insurance companies that insure carriers, equipment and freight, the international banking industry, and cartels that control or attempt to control various worldwide economic activities. Although these organizations generally are not government-owned or operated, they are not completely independent of the governments of their respective members. Summary: governments are involved in international transportation for several reasons. One is to earn foreign exchange, and another is based on the relationship between transportation and a nation's defense. Each nation, its own way, supports its own international carriers. Nations and international groups are also concerned with economic and safety regulations, and these regulations also have impact on international transportation. Insurance common also have influence on international transport and logistics. This is the end of the chapter. We're going to continue later in logistics and transport in different parts of the world. Thank you very much. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe, give us a like, support this video.